What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the 180th episode of the Bench Time Podcast with Todd and Brett Wiley of Wiley's Scale Modeling.
Is that a milestone? No.
180? Well, everyone's a milestone.
Yeah, I guess you're right there. But it's 180.
Hey, I did something crazy yesterday.
Yeah?
You don't know this yet.
What? You do something crazy all the time. So
I signed back up for that race I dropped in May.
Which one? Oh. Which one did you drop out of?
That 100-miler.
Oh, okay. I thought you weren't going to do any more 100
I know.
miles.
I told you that. I told myself that. But then there's something inside my head going, you cannot go through life without having to finish that fucking race. And excuse my French, but I'm going to open the show up like that. It's been eating at me, Dad. It's been eating at me.
Yeah.
And you know how you know how you are and how I am. I'm a competitive person.
I know.
And the fact that I am 0-2 at that race, of all my races I finish them, that's the only one that is my curse.
So you're going back to it.
I have to go back, and I'm not going to, this is not going to turn into a 5-minute running rant. I promise. Okay. But there's just something inside me that I got to finish it.
Something inside you, all right.
I just have to see the end of that race. I have to. So
I know.
I've done I figured
you would eventually.
I've run 100 before. It's just this particular race is just brutal.
Yeah, you finished a few hundreds and stuff, but it's not. It's a different one.
Even during COVID, you watched me run around my house for 24
and you wouldn't
hours.
think it would be the one in Virginia. You know?
But the mountains down there are not easy.
They're brutal.
They're like
I've hiked them.
They're as rocky as they are in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
But they are about 2,000 to 2,500 feet taller.
Yeah.
So
I've hiked those same mountains with you.
Yeah, they're steep and they're long climbs. Yes. Anyways, let's not talk about that too much. I just wanted to throw that out there.
All right.
Your boy Brett's not giving up on that damn race. I'm gonna get that buckle. I'm gonna get that buckle.
I know it.
So
I know.
Anyways, all right. Let's get that. I got that off my chest.
Well, I think we need to start with your other thing before we get into the modeling.
Oh, yes.
Pumpkins. Since it's Halloween.
It's the Halloween episode.
All the freaks are out tonight, you freaks.
Cue that spooky music.
We have to be, it's got to be about Halloween. We're recording on a Monday for a change. Hey. On Halloween night.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way.
What's that music from John Carpenter? You're
going to like next week. We're going to
You should have kept talking. That was the background music.
Oh, that's funny. That's the Halloween music, right?
Yeah.
And your mom and I watched Halloween Kills on HBO. It's the newest Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, and it has the guy from...
And he doesn't die, does he?
Oh, shoot. I'm not telling you, but it's funny. But it's the newest Halloween that came out this last year. Okay, last year. And it had, what's his name? And I don't go for the cut and slash and gash type of...
No, but the Michael Myers movies aren't like that.
Yeah, but you know what? I saw the first two when I was in high school.
They're the best. You can't beat the first Halloween.
It was like in the early 80s. I saw the first Halloweens, and maybe early 80s, late 70s. And then I saw the second one, and it was good. And then after that, they all started to get it's like, okay, it's the same shit.
It's like the Jason movies.
It's the same shit, Then they did Jason
How many times can
versus... Yeah.
I was going to say, how many times can Jason come back out of the swamp? And how many times can he go against another guy?
Yeah, I mean, how many times can Michael Myers be burned?
First of all,
his body's still intact.
Or like shot in the chest or whatever.
How many holes is it in his chest?
And also, you know what?
How's he not missing chunks?
Those people might have deserved to have had done whatever happened to him because they sprinted down the street and Michael Myers still caught them. You know why? Because they only went down the street like 3 houses. Get the hell out of that town. Like, just leave.
Yeah, but they sprint, and he still beats them. He still catches up to him somehow.
He's walking like my grandfather, and he catches these teenage or 20-year-old kids and women running down the street at full speed.
Well, the other star of this, first of all,
Sorry, that.
Jamie Lee Curtis was in this. Okay, and I was like,
How
oh,
old
okay.
is
Well,
she?
she's 63. I looked it up
Okay,
while we
well,
were
that's
watching.
not that old.
Yeah, so she's a few years older than me, but anyhow, she's in the movie, but she really doesn't have anything to do with. She has something to do with it, but she's like in the hospital the whole time. So it's like, and everybody, you don't want to give it away or nothing, but yeah, I don't give a shit. It's a year old now, so she's in the hospital, and then and everybody's thinking he's coming for her there, right? But he's not, and so everybody's like, well, where does he go? He always goes back to his home where he did the first killings or whatever, right? Blah blah blah. So John Anthony Michael Hall is the other
Oh my
star in
gosh.
this. Okay, and he does not look like he is. He's not funny. He's not even really a good
Is that
actor anymore.
Stifler?
He was a good stiff. No, he was in the first. He was in the first Vacation movie as Rusty.
Oh
He
my
was the
gosh.
first Rusty, and then he was also in Weird Science. Okay, and he was also in what was
they
it?
dig
Johnny
him-
B. Good.
how'd
Remember
they-
Johnny B. Good?
Yeah, how'd they dig him back out of the Hollywood?
Oh my God! And you know what?
bin?
He was good then. I liked him then because he was a fun kid actor, a young actor, a teenage actor.
He also
Okay?
looked like my uncle at a much younger
he
age.
was also in what's the one with the Breakfast Club? He was
Yeah.
in that. Okay, so and he was a good actor as a child actor. He sucks now. I mean, he's in my book, he sucks.
They must have been
You know?
desperate.
Oh my gosh, he don't look anything like he did. I mean, he didn't take care of himself. Anyhow, he's in it, and the whole town wants to go after. Now it's not Jason. I mean, not Jason. Michael, killing. He's still killing people, but it's not about that. It's he's killing. He kills a whole fire department in the front lawn
Okay.
of this one house while he's on fire. Okay.
All right.
And he killed the whole fire department has axes. There's like 15 of them.
That's
and they come
believable.
at him and he kills them all with a freaking he has like a harpoon stick on. How do you get that out of the house? Whatever. And I guess it was one of those things that the firemen carried to crush the roof in or whatever. And he takes it out of their hand. I guess he stuck a couple people that he hit people with their axes. They tried to hit him and they missed. Of course, 15 guys missed one man with an axe. Okay,
I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want that fire department showing up in my house.
Yeah. And the police arrive late, right? The police arrive on the scene, and they walk up and they find all these 15 dead firemen laying over the lawn. And I'm like, oh, this is the most ridiculous bullshit I've ever seen. So now the town is outraged, and they have this like little social club of the people that were survivors from the years past, and they still live in the same freaking town, even though this keeps happening in this town over and over, right? So every year on Halloween, or every couple of years on Halloween, right? But
Yeah.
now they say they have no fear, so they're going after Michael, and they go searching for Michael, and then they find him at his house. So they go to the house where he kills people, and they go in looking for him. And guess what? Well,
they all get murdered.
yeah, in his house, and he murders people in, and then he walks away. I'm sorry.
He walks away
it's
at
the
the-
most ridiculous.
He walks away at again the slowest pace imaginable.
Yeah. With police pointing guns and shit at him. Anyway, whatever. It's the most stupid thing ever. And so anyways, we watched that.
I'm gonna have to watch it
we were
now.
saying about Halloween. So let's get on. It's Halloween. You guys are all freaks out there, and this is we're gonna do a recording next week. We have a guest. We're gonna do a second recording. Back-to-back weeks.
Yeah.
Since we're a little late this week. I already have a guest in line.
Ooh.
You're going to love him. He's been on the show many times before.
Ooh.
And we are going to have him on next week, hopefully.
Okay.
If everything goes according to plan. He's an all-time favorite we have, and we'll have him on. So,
Okay. Hey,
And,
so let me talk about what we originally
let's
started to talk
go
about.
back to Halloween. Yeah.
Real quick. I have a favor to ask of you guys. I posted on I'm only going to post it in the overtime group. I'm not going to go crazy and post it everywhere.
Yeah.
But I need you to, if you're in the overtime group, get on there and vote for my pumpkin contest. I painted a pumpkin.
No, it's on the Wiley's page as well.
Oh yeah, it is. It is. But I'll put a link
Yep.
in. I'll put a link in this week's show description.
Put it in both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And get on there and vote for my pumpkin. You have till Thursday. The episode will be up late Monday night on Halloween night, but then you have till Thursday to vote.
Thursday night or Thursday over?
Thursday at the end of the night. So 11,
Thursday at the end of the night.
11:59 p.m.
It's over by Friday at 12:01.
Yeah.
Got it.
So Eastern time. So get on there and vote for my pumpkin. I hand painted a Cocoa Puffs pumpkin.
Yep.
And that thing took me, I don't even know. That thing took me 5 or 6 hours to paint.
It looks just like the cereal box. It's awesome.
I printed a picture of the cereal box.
Right.
And I sat down here by hand and drew the front of the cereal box on the pumpkin and hand painted it. And I even took my weathering, like my chalks, my pigments, and I shaded it so it made it look identical to the box.
It's badass.
Yeah. So get on there and vote for my pumpkin, please.
Right.
So that's my shameless plug.
Cool.
I need you guys to vote for my pumpkin.
You definitely get on there and vote for the pumpkin. You can do it once every day. It's once a day you can vote.
Once a day, yeah.
So if you're here tonight or whenever you're listening,
you can vote like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, actually, if it goes up, it's Tuesday. 3 days. So please do help us out. Help him out.
I even hand painted the Cocoa Puffs on the pumpkin.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it's for his workplace, and that'll be a big help for him.
I felt cuckoo that night painting it. Like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I was cuckoo for painting pumpkins.
For Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah. I do like Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. Yeah, me too.
Jinx. You know what else is good? You know what the other cereal that's good?
Fruity Pebbles.
Is Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to really have them. So, I mean, I am allowed to have them, but your doctor and my wife likes me to watch that kind of stuff and all my carbs and shit like that.
You can splurge every now and then.
While I sit here and drink a Michelob Ultra. But
nice. I'm drinking a new one.
Oh yeah? From
Evil Genius.
You're drinking it now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's called Nom Nom.
I think I've heard that.
Apple cider ale.
Oh.
But it doesn't taste like apple cider. It's a beer, but it's got like an apple flavor to it.
Oh, I got apple cider moonshine apple pie moonshine.
You know why I got it?
What?
Because I was picking up leaves yesterday.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's a fall thing, and that's a fall beer. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
And it was a good Is it
good?
Yeah. It's got like an applesauce flavor.
Oh, nice.
But it still tastes like beer. It just has like a hint of apple in it.
About a year ago, I was at a restaurant with some of your cousins and relatives.
It's not like drinking one of those Smirnoff like apple flavored things where it tastes it tastes like you're eating a Jolly Rancher. It's not like that.
Right. Well, I was at a get together with our family members about a year ago, and your one cousin, Rick, had this apple. I guess it was apple. Well, the apple. It was a pumpkin spice flavored beer. And I'm like, I can't believe you're drinking that wussy crap, you know? And he goes, it's really good. It's really good. Take a sip. So I took a sip of his beer, right? It was actually really good. I hate pumpkin spice shit, right? I hate it. And I liked it. It was good.
You know what my favorite...
So I ordered one.
You know what my favorite flavored beer is?
What?
Is they sell it down there at TJ Rockwell's in those big glasses.
Yeah.
It's the Sea Dog... I think it's called Sea Dog Brewing, but it's Sea Dog Blueberry Wheat.
Ooh.
It is good.
Yeah, it's fruity. It's like blueberry. I'm not a blueberry fan.
If you buy it without... Okay, here's the difference. At TJ Rockwell's, they put blueberries in your pint glass.
Oh.
And
that pretty much I'm done with that.
No, it's good.
Okay.
I promise you it's good.
I just said I don't like blueberries, and you say, here's the thing, they put blueberries in the glass. Well, that's a surefire thing to say.
I love blueberries.
Yeah, I get it. I know you do.
But blueberries are good. But when you get it not on tap, if you get it like just at the beer distributor, it actually tastes pretty good if you like blueberries. You don't have, if you don't like blueberries.
I just don't want blueberries in my beer.
Well, this one
I don't like berries in my beer.
It doesn't come with blueberries in your beer. They do it at the restaurant.
Yeah, but it tastes like beer. The beer tastes like blueberries, right?
Okay, you're right. Well,
I don't want blueberry. I don't want blueberries or cranberry or cherry
if you're
or I want that shit in my beer.
This apple one's pretty good. But either way,
yeah.
If you're feeling
a citrus is different. I'll take a citrus in some beers.
If you're feeling adventurous, there was another good one I tried a couple weeks ago.
How you like the modeling so far, folks? Isn't it great?
Yeah, we're 15 minutes in. We haven't even talked about a model. Hey,
that's all right.
The other one.
Well, we got plenty to talk about.
Blue Moon has a new beer out, but it's an IPA with orange flavor.
Ooh. I like the orange flavor in it.
So,
like I said, the citrus does it for me.
Anyways, all right. Hey, let's start talking about some modeling for once.
Okay. So, we covered all that. So, what do you got going on modeling? We'll let you start.
Well, I'm building my little kit bash for my Kid of the Month club.
Okay.
And I combined...
You altered that. We were talking about the roof line and stuff like that.
Severely altered it.
Okay.
Well, I severely altered it originally, and then I severely altered it again.
Uh-huh.
Surprise. Because I'm just not happy with anything I do. So I took Barker Steel, and I took... where's the name of it here?
They're both Foscale kits?
They're both the Kid of the Month clubs from Foscale, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I took the gas station, which was from July of 2022, and I took the... Excuse the paper sound if you can hear it. I'm rustling through the instructions.
Right.
And Barker Steel from September of 2021, so over a year ago, I've been holding on to this one. And I mashed them together, and I've created this... Originally, I was going to have that one building come out at a 45-degree angle, or the one part of the building, and I didn't...
Yeah.
I wasn't digging it. So, once you start...
Right.
I taped it all together, and I did a mock-up, which I sent you a picture of. And once I started playing with the cardboard to put the roof on, it wasn't... you were right. It was hard. It was like... impossible to figure out how I was going to make that roof line
I was
work.
like, how's he going to get a roof on that thing, man?
So
it looked cool.
Yeah,
but it looked geometrically impossible.
By the mock-up, it looked cool.
Yeah.
But practically, it was not. It was way too much.
Yeah, you'd have to be Frank Lloyd Wright to be able to figure out the roof.
Frank Lloyd Wright might have looked at that and thought I was out of my mind. It just and in a real world situation, that roof line would have it would have leaked everywhere. You'd have had buckets on the inside of that building. So now everything's at a 90-degree angle.
Yeah.
But I did do a cool little like 1.5-story high out jut, or whatever you call it, like a bump out.
Right.
And it's like 1.5 stories high. So I'm going to build a little like storage area underneath it and then some stairs down the one side. But, now everything's at 90-degree angle. It's a longer building, but I took those two buildings from those kits and I mashed them together and I created something that's kind of got a T shape, but it's pretty neat. It's got a lot of bump outs on it. And, I think I used the signs on the building. I didn't put a name on the building yet, but I used all the Goodyear tires and Golf and Pennzoil signs and stuff like that on the building. So it's definitely going to be some kind of a shop. I think I'm just going to turn it into like a mechanic, like a garage.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because it did come with those cool gas pumps that Doug talked about on the show when we had him on a few weeks ago.
Right.
So I think the one side will have like a shop where you can, get your car fixed, and the other side will just be like a convenience gas station store.
Yeah.
So, which you see plenty of them. I mean, that's a very practical building, a garage and a little convenience store / gas station. Like, that's not uncommon. So
no.
Anyways, that's what I've been working on. I've also been inspired by your rock that you've done. And I have an idea. I've been toying around with it over on that part where the figure 8 cuts through the middle of our layout.
Yeah.
That's a weird little intersection there.
You want to do some rock like we did?
And I'm going to cut that whole one side just to be steep and do a bunch of rock face.
I got all the molds here, and I'll bring them over. You have them.
I don't need the molds.
Oh, you don't?
No, I'm gonna do it like I did all the rock face down along the waterfront.
Oh, okay, that'll be cool too.
And just hand sculpt them all with a popsicle.
Well, now
stick.
that we know where we're going with stuff, it's easier. Remember when we first did it, we just started slamming rock in this stuff.
No, and you know what?
Yeah.
I think I've gotten better with the way that I know that rocks should be forming.
Yeah.
The first couple times we did it, the rocks were like, they were just weird.
Yeah.
But now I know, like, just from looking at rock faces, like, especially in our area, when you drive up north,
Yeah.
like up 15 or 322,
Right.
you see all those rock faces that are carved out of the side
Yeah.
of the mountain where the road's passing
Right.
through. And you see, like, how it should actually look when you start to critique your own work and look at how it should be in real life, not with other people's
Yeah.
models.
Right.
It starts to make some more sense. So what I actually started doing with my rocks, when I did them on the waterfront and I did them on that low end here where that tunnel comes out near the second wharf that you'd call it,
Right.
you know, the big long curve on the south end of the layout.
Right. Sure.
What I started to do is, yeah, you make a bunch of little rocks, but you also have to put like some fault lines in, basically.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
where the rock shifted or where there's a big
Yeah.
crack, and it's okay to have big long sections.
Right. Sure.
So I'm gonna put some more rock in that little mini part where the track cuts out through the center.
That's good.
And you know what? It's kind of cheating. It's not kind of cheating because it's going to be a bunch of scenery, but it'll be cool because there's a bunch of big buildings that are all surrounding it, and it's a hill. It is a hillside,
It'll be like where the buildings took over from nature.
and also where the city was starting to develop, and they realized like, oh man, there's way too much bedrock here. Like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna. It's too much, and it's too costly to blast through all this and excavate it. So we're just gonna build around it.
Yep.
So I'm gonna add
Yep.
that in the middle of the city and have it be like just a rocky area that they never developed, or it was too much bedrock to develop, which happens.
Yeah.
I mean, that happens in real life anyways. Like if people are building a house or a building and they run into a bunch of bedrock, it gets expensive to get all that out of there.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's what I'm gonna do with that part of the city.
Cool.
But yes, that's
Real
that's
cool.
kind of what I've been working on and contemplating. Yeah, I did. I did also do a little bit of work on the waterfront in like that central section.
Right.
I put some drywall mud down and I leveled it off. So now from the terminal kit straight to the edge of the water is all ready to be concrete.
Sure. Now that
Yes.
yeah, no, that section is we've revamped that section quite a bit over and over, and I like where we're going with it now.
It's evolved a
I
lot,
mean,
but in the end of it, what we did was we gave ourselves more flat space,
right,
but it doesn't look like
for
flat,
more buildings.
but it doesn't look like flat space. Like
No.
it butts right up against the waterfront. It butts right up against some hills. But
Right.
what I think we did was I tried to incorporate too much variation in the level,
Right.
and it just wasn't. Even if you like, no city is perfect. But
Right.
even if you were to build a city and put buildings or roads in that area, it was like, why it didn't make sense to have it do what it did. So
Right.
I think what we did was make everything look very practical.
Right. I think so too.
So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I know
Cool.
you've been busy.
Ah! Well, since last we were on, we had Jeff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So last we had Jeff on, and we really didn't talk a lot about what I've been working on. So it's been some before that. Then I started doing the rock face on all my front part of my Atlas Gorge. What do we call this diorama fit-in thing? And we're going to drop into place on our layout on the new section. We've been talking about it. If you've been to our pages, and which most of you have, you'll be able to see the photos I've been working in, progressing photos that I've been showing. So right now, I've worked the rock and I built the rock up. I use a mixture of rock, plaster, cast molds that were rubber casting molds from Woodland Scenic. So we had a couple of them before, and I went and got a couple extra ones at the hobby shop.
Yeah.
And then I started pouring these things. Right. Well, I've been working with was working with a lot of plaster. Okay. I bought one of those things, a hydrocal, from Woodland Scenics. I ordered it online, had it delivered to the house. It was a hydrocal carton. It looks like a milk carton.
Yeah.
But instead of like the missing kids on it, it had a picture of the Woodland Scenics mountain. So, but so I started using that, and that was good, I guess. It worked out pretty good. The problem with it's super lightweight, the hydrocal.
Right.
Right. Their particular hydrocal is super lightweight, and it is easy to work with, and as far as that goes, and pouring it dries relatively fast. However, when you pop it out and you start working with it, and I noticed this with the foundations I put on the top of the rocks. There's a set of foundation for the one building, okay, for Prater's Hardware.
Yeah.
And that I used that plaster for that to start with. And it started when I was working with it and trying to paint the concrete lines for the Hal Reynolds method, where you get the poured concrete look. As I was working with it, the plaster was chipping at the corners and edges a little bit. The hydrocal, it was like a little bit softer, and it held together. It still held together very well. I'm using it now. I don't know, over time, I guess I gave it a day or two to cure, before I actually started working with it.
Right.
But bottom line, we talked about this. I tried to put the lines on, and the tape didn't want to stick to it, and everything else. It was kind of weird. And but that's with all plaster I'm finding out. So we're gonna have a little plaster talk right now.
I'm ready.
And then I'll explain the rest of my thing.
It's not gonna be like your plaster disaster story.
What was the plaster disaster story?
This was way back. I mean, this is probably first 10 episodes. Where you poured all that plaster and you kept trying to smooth it, and you made a gigantic mess.
No. You seem to work. It looks good, right? I think it does. The stuff I did
looks great.
good.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I was learning a little bit about these different things of plaster. So I tried the hydrocal for that, and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I want to make my rocks out of that, because I'm going to be cutting them and putting them on the place and trying to fit them and stuff like that, and I don't want them crumbling into little nothings.
Yeah.
Okay. So I watched a video, and you thank God for YouTube out there, right? Doug Fiscali has some YouTube videos on plaster casting or rock making with plaster. It's a great one. He makes a little rock formation thing down by the seaside, along his waterfront, and he shows you how to pour the plaster and then cut it and everything. Then him and Dave Frary have another one that they have on Dave Frary's website. I guess that's Trackside Miler or something like that. On his, let me tell you exactly what. I watched that over and over and over again, because each one of them showed two different methods to work with your plaster rock formations. Okay, so first, Doug did roughly the same. He was a little younger, and he looked real young in that one. He even sounded a little younger. Okay, but him and Dave did this together. Hal Reynolds was also doing that. He made pine trees out of it was really cool, out of wire. Yeah. It was a twisted wire thing. It was amazing. Anyhow, getting off topic here, but anyways, the video, I'm trying to pull it up. I'll pull it up here. I'll just tell you what Dave Frary's. It's called the Trackside. I was right. Subscriptions. Come on. Now my freaking. Oh, come on. My.
Are you gonna be all right here?
No, Trackside Miler. I was right. Okay, so Trackside Miler. There's a whole section there on Easy Scenery, it's called. Okay, it's like an hour and 42 minutes long.
It's a long one, yeah.
Right, but
that's what she said.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about my YouTube was being a little bitch. I couldn't get it to work. So anyways, I had the I watched it over and over. First, Doug did his scenery much like he does in his other one, and then he did it. He poured the plaster on, and he carved it. You go there and watch, and he carved it. he poured it over top of the foam, the extruded, pink or green foam or whatever, and then he carved it out. And he did a real good job, and he showed you how to cut the lines and cracks and stuff like that in it. And then he showed you how to stain it and cut it and cut the pieces that you need, and where the fault lines in, like you were talking about.
Yeah.
Where rocks have shifted and things like that. And then he, of course, stained it and showed us how we did that. So I watched his method, and then Dave Frary showed a different method on a different mountain on the same video. Right next to what Dave did. I mean, what Doug did. And he did his with rock castings and Sculptamold. And I liked both methods, so I employed both methods into what I did. I carved some of this rock, and then I used some Sculptamold like Doug did, and then I used some Sculptamold, and then I used plaster rock castings. Okay. Now, plaster is a little bit, if you haven't priced it lately, it's not exactly cheap anymore, just like all resources with building anymore. So you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and a tub of the plaster is like $13 for this little tub of plaster. And there's only 4 pounds in it, I believe. Let me pick this up, so I'll tell you exactly how many pounds. Correct. 4 pounds of plaster. It was like 12 or $13. And that's a DAT plaster. Okay. And that's the one that Doug was using. And I bought a tub, but I was pouring many rock castings because I needed a variety. And some of these rock castings you pour into the rubber molds, when you pop them out, sometimes I cut them down or break them. I only fill the rubber molds up like halfway on some of them, so I can get different, thicknesses or different rock formations because it's only being filled half. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I used that, and that went pretty quick because I was making all these rock molds. Well, now I'm thinking, oh, I'm gonna run out of plaster quick, right? So I went over to Hobby Lobby. Because I was looking at the price. I bought that tub like several months ago, and the price wasn't terrible. But now with the Lowe's to get more, and now the price is up. It was like $9 before, now it's 13. And I'm like, what the hell, for 4 pounds of plaster? So I went over to Hobby Lobby. Well, they got this big bag. I'm going to pick it up now, and I'll read it to you. Their plaster they have comes in a bag. It's called Perfect Plaster. The Professional's Choice, American Made, it's called. It's in a bright blue and orange plastic sealable bag. And I love this because it has, you ever get a bag of chips?
No.
And you open up the chips and you can close them up by zip, like pushing it together. It's a resealable top, and you can just kind of run your thumb across it and it closes. That kind of closure. Well, by the way, whoever does them with their chips are geniuses, and every chip company should be making that on their bags because it's brilliant, right? So this bag comes this way. It's a big bag, and in the bag you are getting, is it 8 pounds? 8 pounds of plaster.
Dang.
8 pounds of plaster for that was $7.99. And I'm thinking, boy, $7.99. I'm getting twice the plaster for nearly half the price, right? Nearly. It's a little over half the price, but let's say 65% of the price, right? That's what I'm paying.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm getting 35, 40% off, and I'm getting twice the amount of plaster. It's got to suck, right? It's got to suck. There's got to be a reason why it's $7.99.
Okay. Does it suck?
It doesn't. Oh, no. This is awesome. I love using it. It's real good. Now, your work time's quick, okay?
It dries
quick. When you're pouring casts, it's an easy mix. That's the other thing. You read the other one. Yeah, and when I tried to mix the regular plaster Paris, it says 2 to 1, right? 2 to 1. Two parts plaster, 1 part water.
This one's.
But I end up having to put more water in it.
I usually have too. It gets dry. Thick. Yeah, it gets like.
Right.
Yeah, it turns out way too quick.
It starts hardening before I can pour it out of the rubber bowl. Okay, and I have one of those rubber dental bowls, which are awesome. Okay, but and you can get them online. I ordered, order them eBay or whatever, dental bowl. Okay, rubber dental bowl. Get the extra large. If you get the large, it's going to be too small, and you're not even going to be able to fill like 1 or 2 plaster molds. They're ridiculous. Okay, but you don't want too big a bowl, or then you can't use all your plaster. Okay, so it was drying before I'm pouring. It was starting to form up while I'm pouring this stuff, and that's with me adding water to it. So this stuff here, it does dry relatively quick. It's easy mix. It's 2-for-1 exact. It's 2-for-1 exact. There's no guesswork. I filled up a plastic red Solo cup twice with the plaster, dumped it in the bowl, in a bigger bowl, and then put water in another red Solo cup. Put the water in that, poured it in, mixed it up with a wire whisk. You go to the dollar store, buy one of those wire kitchen whisks.
Yeah.
And whisk it up, poured it out, and it looked good. The detail on the plaster was sharper than the detail I get when I did the DAP plaster.
Okay.
I thought it was very, very good. So I'm recommending something from Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry, it's not their brand. I don't know who the hell. I've never seen it anywhere else but there. But it's called Perfect Plaster, and it says on the outside pottery and ceramics on the outside. And I'm thinking, I don't know. I don't know. Pottery and ceramics. Maybe it's not me. But for $7.99, how bad could it be, right?
Right.
It could be really bad, right? So it's not. It's very, very good. I'm impressed with it. It's very good. So, anyways, I started pouring these that was my plaster tip there for you to try. So I started putting these in, doing the Dave Ferry Hobby Lobby, the Dave Ferry method, and the Doug Foscali method. Okay, the carving rock, and using sculpt the mold, which is not cheap either, by the way. That's very expensive, and now nobody's handling it. You got to order that online. Sculpt the mold, you can't buy it. You can order it online from Joanne Fabrics, okay, from their store, but you can't pick it up, and they don't handle it in the store anymore.
It's not in stock.
They don't have it at Michael's. They don't have it at Hobby Lobby. Nobody handles. You go to Hobby Lobby, and I asked if they have sculpt the mold, and the people there looked at me like I was from Mars. Okay, so anyways, you take the sculpt the mold and you put it on the back of you spray the back of the casting with water so it doesn't sop all the water out of your sculpt the mold mix. Okay, and then because plaster is very absorbent. And I sprayed the back of it with some water, and I put some sculpt the mold on the back, and then along on my rock face of my carved styrofoam, and I just stuck it in place. And then I put another one on, and shaped them, and I kind of matched where the rocks go and how they would fit on, and it was all fun. It was neat because at first you're like, oh my god, what if I screw it up? Well, if you screw it up, guess what? Break this shit off and put another piece on.
Do it again.
Yeah. Right. It's so what you try something else, but try and custom fit them. We dry on without. I tried gluing them on. Good luck. Yeah. I tried gluing them on with like a hot glue gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that don't work. Don't hot glue gun anything. You're better off with tacky glue if you're gonna do that. But the best thing is just use the sculpt the mold, stick it on. Once that shit dries, man, everything's sticking to that styrofoam. There's styrofoam under a base, right? Okay. So I got it all fit, and then after I was done, it's all white, everything. The waterfall area that comes down the center is all white. It's hard to distinguish where the water is going to come down. It's not really when you're standing on top of it, and when you see the pictures now, you'll be able to figure it out. But eventually waterfalls and the river are going to right down to the center through my diorama, just like kind of like Doug's is. Okay, now I varied it up. I put way more rock on than what he did. But then I started coloring it, and I was using a mixture of everything. I started doing I did an India ink wash thing and made it all dark. To get the inside crevices, and then I'm sure you do your own similar thing.
Yep, very similar.
And then I took some gray paints and things like that, and I dry brushed on some different grays and browns, and I got that to work. Then I used like a rust color. Then I went to the chalk paints. Not chalk paints, chalk paints, pastel chalk powders. Our weathering powders, and I did some browns with that, and then I did some rusty colors on a very very light scale.
Yeah.
And then brushed them out and everything just to give them that tint. And then of course dry brushed with a strong white. It was because I want a gray look, but with white lines and highlights on all the sharp edges and things. And I did that with like a Liquitex acrylic. I think it was titanium white, and in the tube acrylics, and I use that and dry brush that on real light over everything, and it makes all the highlights stand out real good. I was real happy with it, and now I am on to putting the green hanging vines from the top of the rocks on the one edge. I'm going to do the other side now too. They only come down maybe 20, maybe 15, 20 scale feet down the side of these cliffs, right?
Yeah.
But it looks real good. And the method I used for it, I used off of Joey Ricard's YouTube video channel. We're getting a lot of plugs out here tonight. And he has trackside. His is trackside scenery. On his trackside scenery YouTube channel. I believe that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Trackside scenery, Joey Ricard. He's a funny guy. We hung out with him at the one show too. Good guy. We had him on the show as a guest. He has a great video on making easy and cheap hanging vines.
And his videos are fun to watch because his personality is exactly how it is in his videos.
Yeah, he's great. And he's got one on there on doing vines and scenery. Okay, to make them realistic and inexpensive. And he uses like a filter, the inside of a air filter thing for like your home heating filter or whatever, or air conditioning filter. And he popped out that material and he stretches it all out, cuts it into pieces, and you have to go see it. I use something that's more like a fiber fill that would be used in a pillow, a polyfiber. But it was made by Woodland Scenics, and it was green in color. And I spray painted my black, and I followed his directions the best I could, using hairspray and spraying that stuff, and then covering it in real fine green ground foam, a couple different tones or colors of it, and then shaking it out, put more in. This shit was stuck all over my fingertips and stuff. I should have rubber gloves on like he did, but then I was worried that I was going to get the rubber gloves stuck on everything else, so I'm like, I just use my fingers. So I was kind of laying it in a flat box lid, like a paper box lid from a paper case. Yeah, paper box lid. And I was laying it in there and then spraying it in that, and then putting it well ventilated area, by the way. And then draping it over the side, cutting the pieces you need, stretching it, and tugging it out. Just like his video. Go check it out. It's an awesome video. Even if you're not going to do it, it's awesome. It looks cool. That's how I did mine. I had a lot of fun with it. It looks real nice. I got a lot of comments from the photos I posted up. They're out there. Now, I'm doing all this detail. I've got all kinds of bushes and stuff that we've collected, you and I have collected over the years, buying it when we can here and there, to get our own collection. 2 giant crates full. Well, in my workshop right now, Brett, is a shithole. I got green foam grass all over my floor in here that because you're sprinkling it everywhere, right?
It's not clean.
So like I got a pile here by my I have my slippers on tonight, and they're over here by my feet. And I got boxes of this. We have boxes and boxes of this. It's good quality stuff. We got stuff made by Heike. We got stuff made by JT. We got Woodland Scenics out the Gazooey. This flock and turf stuff, and a whole mess of other stuff from Scenic Express. I mean, a lot of stuff. Trees, the homemade trees that we made. I got some pine trees that I bought. I got some pine trees that we made. I got all kinds of crap, okay? I got this shit. It's all over my desktop. I got ballast. I got talus for inside and it's all laid out ready for me to work with. But now I can't even move around here. I can barely have enough stuff to set up the podcast setup with the microphone and our my broadcasting thing here tonight. And but I'm having a ball because it's everywhere, and I got a million little ideas in my head. I started putting bushes down, Martin Wahlberg stuff. We got a bunch of that, although that's really big in scale. So I kind of got to take it, and I got to cut some of that down real small to use because his bushes are definitely not HO scale. Shit, they're borderline trees. They're taller than the people. If you put a figure on them, they're taller than the people, but they look bad. Badass. They're nice. They're real nice. They're very, very detailed. When you cut them down, they're amazing. And we got piles of those things. We got a lot of Martin Wahlberg shit, by the way.
We do.
Grass tufts, all that. That's where I'm at right now. And guess what? I'm having a time of my life because it's like having my own little mini layout. This thing's 24 by 29 inches. Okay, so it's not real big or long. I mean, it's big enough to take up the top of this one table over here in my shop. And I can walk around it and just kind of put the details on and add this and add that. And now I'm just adding the foliage. The rocks are basically done. Now I'm putting, foliage in the rocks and up around the top, starting to add dirt. The buildings are going to be, in the next day or two, the buildings are going to be permanently, put on. I'm going to start putting sidewalk down and road. And I'm really, really having a ball with it. This is stuff I haven't done in a while, but the problem is now it's all over my shop and I have no room. And but it's fun. I mean, and then on top of it, your mom's coming in with these. She went through the spices and things she had, and she has these large shaker things like the Woodland Scenic stuff comes in.
Like you get Parmesan cheese in.
Right, yeah, but she has the large shakers that you get at the restaurant stores.
Yeah,
that gets her spice in, and when they're empty, she combines them. And she came in, she washed them out, said, "Do you want them?" I go, "Hell yeah, I want them," because I can shake this stuff out into them. And but I got them piled up over here in a pile. I was tripping on stuff. Jeez, it's a mess. Water bottles, half filled water bottles, drinking water bottles, like spring water. That I kept over the weekend. I bring one in. And I forgot I had one here already. And I only drank half of it, and then I opened a new one. And I drank half of it. And this afternoon I came in here, and I got 4 of them.
Well, if you combine them all together, you'll have 2 full bottles of water.
Yeah, but I don't know how they've been sitting there.
Does water spoil?
Maybe one of them. Well, I think one of them I might have washed my paintbrush in. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, it won't hurt you. Should be pretty non-toxic.
I don't know. Can't tell.
It's probably mostly non-toxic.
But I'm having a ball. It's a lot of fun. I'm going to keep putting pictures up on a regular basis now.
No, it's turning out awesome. And I think the people online, as you post pictures, have been giving you the same sentiment that I have been, where it just, once you started putting the green and foliage on the rocks, it all started to come together like amazingly.
Oh, yeah. And, and it's all because, and the rocks themselves, it's all because we've been model roading for a long time, and I've been doing it for ages. Okay. But you never stop learning, so I'm picking up and I'm learning from, I'm still learning. We've talked to Dave Frere. We know all these miler guys. We've taken their hints and used them, and they're still learning from them. Dave Frere is still teaching me how to model railroad like he did when I was in my 20s, okay? And through a video. Those videos are awesome, and if you people do not use YouTube videos and watch every possible thing you can before you do your project, you're missing out, because that's where you come up with your best ideas. And what I did was I mashed a bunch of them together.
Yeah.
And said, okay, you know what? I like this method, and let's crunch them together. We're going to do them both on the same rock area. Okay. I'm going to use Joey Ricard's how-to because it looks badass. I liked that before I ever saw this Atlas Mill thing that Doug did. And I was like, I saw the way Joey did it, and we didn't have any rock formations quite like that, And I was like, but he did, and I was like, oh. And I got to thinking, I always liked that. I've seen that video, watched that video for fun, even though I didn't plan on doing it. it right away. And then I went, as soon as I started doing this, I started putting the rocks up. I was like, you know what? I got to do Joey's uh, hanging vine thing, man, because it looks amazing. So I had a lot of fun with that. I'm going to do some more of that, by the way. But and in the middle of the rocks, you all saw the top of them if you saw the photos.
Yeah.
In the middle of them, I'm going to put some like slower vines, not quite as heavy or thick, but draping down from other sections of the rock lower down, but not quite as thick. Okay. There'll still be more rock exposed. And then I'm going to put in the average bush or two in there, here and there, stuck
What's
in
an
there.
average bush?
Well, like the foam bushes and stuff
Oh, all right,
we have from Scenic Express, because they're very realistic and they're very nice.
Yeah,
those are those ones made by Scenic Express. They're called Flock and Turf Medium Super Turf. It comes in chunks. They're real easy to work with, and just neat.
Yeah, right.
So we got flower stuff, all kinds of
plenty
different color. Yeah, we're gonna do it up. It's gonna be colorful.
Totally.
So and then I got the water. The next step will be water. That'll probably be my last step. Is doing the water at the end, because I don't want to get any of this crap on the water.
Yeah, you don't want. Yeah, you don't want.
So that's where I'm at on that.
You don't want like your green shit.
Did I talk too much?
No, I was just trying to find a way to get a word in here edgewise.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry, I was all fired up, man.
No, it's good.
I'm having a good time with it.
I just let you roll. Because it was good. I was
going to come down to your place yesterday, but I wasn't feeling too good.
I know.
So I got a cough going on. I'm like, God, I got the kicking up this mucus. I'm hoping that this Michelob Ultra is going to kill that.
Yeah, it might loosen it up.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well,
I didn't want to go down there and get sick. So
no. So let's move on to the next thing here.
We're gonna shift gears.
Yeah. Let's get into some college football.
What have you been listening to on your music? What kind of music you been listening to?
I was listening to some old stuff like Rob Bass.
Oh yeah.
I'm Rob Bass and I came to get down.
I like Rob Bass.
Yeah, he's not
to get down.
He's not internationally
I'm internationally known.
But he's not
rock the microphone.
He's known to rock the microphone. Anyways.
Yeah.
I've been listening to a bunch of old school.
I was listening to Kicks. Old Kicks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I was just saying I was listening to a bunch of old Jock Jams type songs.
Ooh, Jock Jams.
Yeah, I found a playlist on YouTube Music.
Yeah.
All the old Jock Jam songs. So I've been listening to that.
Oh, cool.
But
that's cool. That's
You've
cool.
been
I haven't
listening
heard
to
them in a
Kicks?
while. Maybe I'll crank them on. All the Kick songs.
I could never get into
They're a
that.
band that I grew up with around here. They were from out of York, PA area, and they played a lot of local clubs and stuff around here in Central PA. And then they went Hollywood and got big, like Poison did out of here. And so I like the Kicks. You don't like Kicks music?
I just couldn't. It's not my time. I can't get into it.
I'm not usually a hair band guy. You know that. You know me. I'm very.
I like
into
one
all
hair
kinds of
band.
music. Who?
They're newer though. They're called Steel Panther.
Oh, okay.
Look them up. You'll regret it. You'll regret every second of it.
Yeah, you don't like them? You like them?
I like them, but you'll regret it once you
Okay.
listen to it.
Yeah, I may. I'm not a big hair band guy.
Well, they're a
Your
different
mom's all
type of
into
hair
that, and
band.
I can't hair band it.
They're a different type of hair band.
Yeah, she's like all in that. It's like, hey, get out of that, man. That's like way back, man. Move on. It's okay to like that stuff, but man, listen to some new stuff out there. Get yourself diverse and try to check out other music.
Yeah.
But everybody's
I've also been listening to.
Everybody's got their thing.
I've also been listening to Falling in Reverse a lot.
Oh, I like Falling in Reverse.
Yeah.
Yes.
But.
Yep. I do like them.
Anyways, that's what I had playing.
All right.
Steel Panther has an
Oh,
album.
we got questions before we get into football. We got questions.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's see. Listener questions. So what's Steel Panther about, man?
Just look it up.
All right.
I'm not going to talk about it because it's
All right. You want me to read these questions?
yeah, just yeah.
What? Just what?
I regret throwing the name of that band out.
Oh, okay.
It's just listen to him for a second.
Well, you redeemed yourself with the other music you were listening to.
Yeah. It
Okay.
is not. I'm not proud of it. It's not good. It's not good for anybody.
You did send me a Seether song that was not too bad the other night.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like Seether. They got a new album out.
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to it, actually. There's a couple other songs I like better than the one you sent me.
I know it's a good
But,
album.
so, we got some questions here from our listeners. We put them up at the last second, but first one here from Ron. Tell us about your rock work on your latest build, and it will be difficult to make it drop. And will it be difficult to make it drop into the layout? Well,
it won't be
we
difficult.
kind of talked about it, but you go ahead.
I was gonna say it won't be too difficult because it's kind of separated from the other side of the
Right.
layout.
The only thing is we matched up. Brett and I took careful measurements to match. I called him and he gave me measurements, and we measured out exactly where the river is going to meet the other river on the original layout, and they're going to merge into one another. The rest of the rock front is going to border along a roadside that goes parallel to the very edge, right, Brett?
Right.
And then after that, it's pretty much that's it.
It's kind of it. Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It'll match up good.
I mean, it's going to. I think so. But I like it. It's as much plaster as it looks like I added, which I did. I can easily lift this thing. Okay. Even when I think the structures don't weigh that much. So when I go to pick up and move it and take it to Brett's, I'm going to be able to lay it in the back seat of the car. If I put the seats down and put it in, and then of course just drive real slow, take it over to his place, and him and I'll both grab part of it and carry it in and lower it into place. I mean, it should be very easy. What do you think?
It'll be pretty simple and straightforward. Yeah.
Right. Now, the other half of it is just foam over there right now. Okay. On the other half, the other 2 foot worth is going to be on the other side of it. And that is going to be, it's all just foam, and it'll connect to the right side of this, and it'll start sloping down off the other side and come down to a level. It'll slope down quick, and then it'll come down to a level. It won't be that much rock or anything on it.
Yeah.
I am going to stick a couple rock plaster castings into the side of the foam, but they're smaller. And then we're going to have that come down to more of a countries type setting. So, but yeah, that'll be easier to do. We can do that right there on the spot and carve that and shape it. But yeah, I'm excited about that. That'll be fun, but it'll be easy to move.
Yeah.
So, and you were a big help with me getting those measurements.
A lot of measurements.
And stuff. Okay. Yes. So Mark is the next question from Mark. Do you typically construct your buildings from start to finish, or do you move around from one building project to the next, working on several projects at a time?
I've done both.
What influences your choice? What influences your choices?
I've done both. I've done both.
I'll let you do that.
I've done both, and it really just, there's really no influence behind it. It's kind of just where my attention span is.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling like a building's, really I'm in a groove with a building, I'll just do it from start to finish. If I start to stall out on a building, I'll just rip into something new and then come back to it later when I get some more inspiration to do it. That's really the only thing that drives it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I mean, for me, you know me, I generally lean towards start to finish. Okay. And I think a lot of that is just based on, I have other projects in my head, and I may work on some other smaller stuff. But as far as starting a second building, I have to be damn bored with that building or not liking how it's working for me to kind of put it off to the side. Even
Right.
then, I will be determined to figure it out and make it work. So I'm a kind of a start to finish guy, as you know.
Right.
But yeah. So there's that question. Next question. Good question, though, Mark. That's a good question. Well, I don't think we've been asked that question before. We've been asked a lot about how we build things and stuff, but we never really. We never been asked about do we do it from beginning to end? And,
For the most part.
I do generally. Ron, a different Ron. What was the kit or kits that gave you the greatest sense of accomplishment when you completed it?
Oh my.
That would be a good question for you.
Oh. I got a tie. Mine's either the Tucker building I did, or Sass and Vinegar Works.
Ooh, yeah, Sass and Vinegar Works.
That's my tie.
Yeah, that one was a good one. For me, it was without question Baxter's Building Supply from Fine Scale Miniatures.
Yeah.
It was something I always liked that model, and then when I got it, I bought it from a friend who didn't have time for it, and I started building it, and it was just one of those ones I've seen photos of many times, and I always wanted to do it. And then when I built it, I was like, I built it just like George did, I mean, it's identical.
Yeah.
And as far as the way it was set up and everything, just to its directions. But when I was done, I felt the most accomplishment with that one. It was a lot of fun because there was hand laid track involved with it and everything else, and I had never tried my hand at that before. So yeah, that was the best one for me.
Yeah.
Those were good questions though.
Yeah.
It's gonna refresh it just to make sure nobody put one in at the last second here. But that's it. Okay, we'll move on.
All right.
Thanks for the questions. That was short notice, and nobody was planning for us to be recording tonight on Monday night.
No. All right. Let's get into a couple minutes of some college football talk, and then we're gonna wrap up because I'm hungry. I made some spaghetti, and I didn't get to eat it yet, so I'm gonna when we're done here, I'm gonna go up and get some spaghetti.
Oh, that sounds good.
And I made it with homemade meat sauce, so I'm good.
Ooh, that does sound good.
Yeah.
I may be down then tonight.
All right, I'll save you a plate. All right, we're gonna talk about
Holy
after
cow.
my dad's done. Are you all right? We need to send Life Alert over.
Oh my gosh, I think I just coughed up a tonsil.
All right, so we're gonna talk about some potential ways that some of our teams here are going to be ending the college football season and some bowl games we'd like to see coming up.
Okay.
So I'll just kick it off. I think our favorite team, my opinion, Oklahoma, will be lucky and fortunate this year, which is weird to say. If we crack 8 or 9 wins, I'll be happy.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 losses right now. So as far as bowl goes, we're going to have to win out. We're going to have to win out.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. No, well, I mean, if we're bowl eligible with 6 or 7 wins, we'll make a bowl.
Yeah, we get another 2 wins, I think we could be bowl eligible.
I mean, there's going to be a TV rating for that for Oklahoma no matter what.
Right. But then again, we're going to be into like the Heinz Ketchup Bowl or something like that.
Well,
I mean, it's going to be
in reality.
We're going to get to.
In reality, those games, you're looking at the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. With Big 12.
We'll go over that.
All right, go ahead. We'll be happy with that. I think our other team that we follow but we don't like, but I don't know why we continue to torment ourselves with them, is Penn State. I believe they're going to finish the season with probably 3 or 4 losses. It's coming.
Yeah.
I just feel like those guys don't have anything to fight for now that they lost to Ohio State and Michigan. Like,
I see 3 losses.
They're not going to go to the Big Ten game.
Maybe I see 4.
I see 4 maybe because what do they have to play for?
Yeah, but they have to play for football. They're there to play football.
You're right.
So they're all going to play football. Now, I don't care what school you are.
All right, they're going to be a 9.
They're there to win.
They're going to be a 9-3 team.
Right. You get 100,000 people who are going to show up. They're going to sell that place out, regardless of who they're playing. So they're still going to, yeah, they lost to the two big boys in their conference. But, you know, Penn State, although I'm not a big Penn State fan at all, they play good football and they sell a lot of tickets.
Man.
And they fill that place up and they sell it out. It's what, 100 second largest stadium.
So when I was at the game
in the country.
When I was at the game last week, I went up to the whiteout game. Their official attendance was 111,000.
Right, exactly.
Like that's
Nobody's
insane.
That.
That's insane.
Right.
And also,
and who's the biggest one?
Michigan.
Right, Michigan. They're the two big ones.
But let me tell you something about being at a whiteout game. I loathe that team, but as a college football fan, that might have been the coolest thing that I have ever seen in person.
Oh, yeah.
As far as the show they put on.
Right.
They got that people kept telling me like, "Oh, that stadium shakes whenever it gets loud like that at a whiteout." And I'm like, all right. I've been in loud places. Like, we'll see. Well, first of all, they weren't kidding. That stadium, when you sit there and just stand still,
yeah,
it shakes under your feet.
Right.
But the other reason it shakes is because it's made out of like modular steel sections. It's not even half that stadium is like slapped together like haphazardly.
Oh, I know. I sat up there. I felt it shake.
But it was cool to be there. It was cool to experience that, even though the guy beside me threw up. You know.
Yeah.
It was that guy was a mess.
Disgusting.
Well, the reason that the reason it was so much of a mess was because you can start tailgating at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And the game didn't
I've done that up there.
And the game didn't start till 7:30 at night. So you have like 9.5 hours or 9 hours of people out in these fields just drinking their faces off.
Yep.
And then they go into the game and they're just all like I'd say 60% of them are just hammered.
Oh yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yep.
So
yeah, I get that. And you know, anyways, as far as they're going to play to win. So they have a great running game, Their quarterback does pretty good. I think their coaches make horrible decisions, but outside of that, they have a good football team that's going to win despite of his decisions. And I think
they'll out-talent that. They'll out-talent coaching.
Right. I see them losing one more game either to Michigan State or maybe, I don't know. I mean, one of those will fall apart on.
They got to play Notre Dame.
Penn State doesn't play Notre Dame.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
USC
I'm thinking USC, yeah.
Yeah. So, Penn State, they got Michigan State at the end of the season. That might be the toughest one. Indiana might not be too lenient with them either. So, like I said, we'll see. But I think one loss is a possibility for them. And if they have 3 losses, they're definitely going bowling. You know, they're going bowling now.
Yeah.
With 2 losses. So, but you know, I'd like to see them play Oklahoma. That'd be awesome. But
the only way that will happen is if it is the.
Yeah.
Let me find it. The only way that's going to happen is if it is the. Oh boy, it's in here. The guaranteed rate bowl God, the guaranteed rate bowl on December 27th at 10:15 p.m.
Okay, me.
Well, that'll be a late night, dude.
I'll just yeah. I might have to burn a PTO day.
I'm off that week, so I'll watch it.
Might have to take some PTO on that day and just burn it.
It's the only way possible.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on. Our other least favorite team is
that'd be a Monday, wouldn't it? No.
December 27th is a Tuesday, I think.
Yeah. Anyhow, let's move on.
Yeah, my other favorite non-favorite team is going to be USC, like you. And I think they're going to take 2 losses here at the end of the year, at least.
Well, They got
gotta
one
play
now. I think they're going to take 2 more.
They got to play Cal, Colorado, Notre Dame, and UCLA. So they're
going down to UCLA. They may go down to Notre Dame. Notre Dame started out horribly, and now they've been winning regularly.
Yeah.
So they found their momentum. So it's going to be tougher to play them, especially at the end of the season.
Yeah.
Provided they still hold together. So.
Well,
yeah, there's that.
We got that. So we'll see how that happens. If that's the case, there's like 2 or 3 different bowl games that are outside of the New Year's bowls that are Big 12 versus Pac-12.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting if that happens. That'd be
interesting. I'd like to see that. That'd be a good. If I'm a television producer,
you're gonna make it happen.
Oklahoma, and have, the animosity that's being held right now between Oklahoma and USC. It would be very fun and interesting to kind of make that bowl happen. If I'm a selection committee, saying, okay, you know what? Let's throw them all in there. Let's throw those 2 in there and let them go. Let's give them an offer to play a game against each other. Yeah, absolutely. If I'm a network, I'm wanting that. I'm wanting that.
That would be crazy. But
you can pump it up as a major war. Oh my gosh, it'd be great.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think both, well, more so Oklahoma's people would really buy into that big. I don't know if USC still holds any animosity to the Oklahoma, and why would they? They have no reason to.
If that happened, it would be the Alamo Bowl on December 29th.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That'd be interesting. The Battle of the Alamo Bowl.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so let's put Oklahoma outside of that. We're looking at the standings right now and what we have with bowls. I mean,
we're looking at going to the Liberty Bowl.
The big game this week is going to be huge. The biggest game this week is Georgia and Tennessee.
Oh my gosh.
And it's going to be a blockbuster.
This
may be the best blockbuster all year.
I'm all in for
This may
Tennessee.
be the game. Yeah.
I'm all in for Tennessee.
One's number what? What's Tennessee right now? They number 3?
No, they jumped Georgia.
No, Georgia. Who's 1 right now?
Georgia. I thought they jumped Georgia though, Dad.
Georgia's 1. Tennessee's 2.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm guessing. So that'll be amazing. You don't get to see a 1 and 2 matchup anymore, and not much
unless it's the playoff.
Where's Ohio State? Are they 3 now?
3.
Or what? Yeah. So and then you got Michigan at 4. I mean, we're talking stud football right here. These 4, 5, 6 teams, we're talking stud football. I mean,
Georgia, Tennessee.
and that's what it should be when you come into November.
Wait, who does Ohio State play?
They got to play Michigan yet. That's going to be another block.
That's another 3 and a 4 versus each other.
Yep. And
Dang.
who knows where they might be. One of those 2 teams.
They could be number 1 by then.
Is going to lose. Well, right. One of those 2 teams is going to go down next week.
Well, so Michigan, Ohio State. In all reality, if Georgia Tennessee game, no matter what comes out, whoever wins that game is going to be number 1.
Yeah.
And then Ohio State, Michigan will slide up to number 2 and 3.
Yep.
Because, well, maybe Georgia will drop.
Provided they both win this weekend.
The loser of the Georgia Tennessee game will drop to 3 or 4.
Right.
But Michigan Ohio State on November 26th.
The loser of the Tennessee game, Georgia game, will drop to 6 or 6.
No,
between 6 and 8. Yes.
No, they'll stay
one
in
loss. One loss.
No,
it's 1 loss.
They'll stay in the top 5. No, they will.
They won't stay ahead of
If Tennessee loses to Georgia, they will not drop below 6.
They'll get a 7.
Because Bama's 6.
Mark my word.
You can't drop. No, you can't. No.
I'm gonna bet.
No. Stop. Stop.
On this show.
Stop.
I'm going to bet live on this show that they do 7 or 8. They're going to be 7 or 8. Georgia or Tennessee.
Then where do you
put? They lose that game, they're going to be ranked 7 or 8.
Well, where
if they lose bad?
No. Stop.
Yeah.
How do you drop them to 7 or 8 when Bama's 6 and Tennessee beat Bama?
Where's Bama now?
6.
Well, Bama will. Yeah.
You can't drop. If Tennessee loses to Georgia, you cannot drop them below Bama.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
No, you can't.
Here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing.
No.
Later in the season, losses count more.
No.
Don't you know? Have you not learned this from our own losses?
So how do you put Tennessee below Bama? You can't. Tennessee beat them.
I've seen it happen. You both and I both.
It won't happen. That will not happen.
What do you think that Bama doesn't get the breaks? Do they think that they don't get the breaks?
They are not.
They get the breaks.
They are going to leave.
They're
going to leave Tennessee in the top 5 if Tennessee loses to Georgia. If Georgia loses, they're going to drop at most to 4. Dad, it's not going to happen.
If Georgia loses, they're going to drop to 7.
No.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Tennessee may be 5 and they may be 7.
I'll bet you lunch on it that whoever loses, no matter the result of that game, they will not drop below Bama.
Yeah, I think they will. So
it's
the losses count differently. Losses count differently in November. You know this. We've been there.
Also, but there's a bias towards
We've been screwed out of stuff.
There's a bias towards the SEC.
Well,
we've never been
about that.
Yeah, but Oklahoma's never been screwed out of losing and then
screwed out of a lot of things.
But we've never been screwed out of losing and then dropping past the team we lost to if we're only 1 or 2 losses. That's never happened. Whoever loses that game will not drop below Bama. It will not happen.
Yep. Okay.
It won't happen. We'll
there's other undefeateds we're talking about here, like TCU.
No.
There's some other teams that we're talking about that need to step in at some point.
Okay.
If TCU keeps winning, and they got tough games ahead, if TCU keeps winning like they are, where do they drop into that top
but here's
5?
the difference. Here's the difference. TCU, if they win out, there's no possibility of them losing until the Big 12 game if they win out, because now they won't play another. They'll probably play K-State in the Kansas State in the Big 12 championship, right? Okay,
TCU
whatever.
hasn't played Oklahoma State.
Okay, well, whatever. So TCU. Okay, so pretend TCU wins out. Say Bama wins out.
Right.
Clemson's going to win out. Michigan, Ohio State. One of those two teams needs to take a loss.
They're gonna. There's no doubt about it.
I know. That's what I just said.
Right.
Tennessee, Georgia. The top 4 in the next 3 weeks, 50% of the top 4 is going to have to take a loss.
Right.
Now, say TCU wins out and they go to the Big 12 title game. Now, they're going to go into the championship weekend undefeated. Bama cannot go. Bama can go to championship weekend right now, but they cannot go in undefeated. Michigan, Ohio State, one of the two teams, they're gonna make the Big 12, the Big 10 final, but only
Who's
one.
5?
What?
Right. Who's 5?
Clemson, but they're gonna win out.
Really? Okay.
Who are they gonna beat? Wake Forest, who just got smacked.
Who they play this week?
Who? Who play with?
Who does Clemson this weekend?
See, now everyone's getting an insight of how my dad and I argue about football. They play Notre Dame this weekend.
Okay, and what did I say? Notre Dame's been on a hot streak.
Right, but they beat the only other conference opponent they've played that is ranked. 2 of them is Wake Forest, and they beat them 51-45. And they beat Syracuse, who was 14. They're not going to lose to Notre Dame.
Syracuse is a good football team. So if
well, they're ranked higher than Notre Dame. Notre Dame's not ranked.
Didn't Notre Dame beat Syracuse, right?
No. No. Okay. Syracuse. Hang on. Maybe they did. Hang on. Oh yeah, they beat Syracuse 41-24.
Okay, so now Syracuse is ranked higher than they are.
Yeah.
So I thought if you lose to the team, how can you be ranked higher than them, like Alabama and Tennessee?
Well, no. Stop. No, you're wrong.
Okay.
You don't laugh because I'm going to laugh at you because you're wrong. Because Clemson beat Syracuse before they lost to Notre Dame.
Okay.
Clemson, when Clemson played Syracuse, They were undefeated.
Right. Clemson is undefeated now, right?
Oh my God, no. Clemson.
Oh, you mean Syracuse is undefeated?
Syracuse was undefeated when they played Clemson, and then they lost.
Right.
And then they lost to Notre Dame this past weekend.
Right.
So, no.
Okay. I'm telling you, I think Clemson's going to take a dump. I
don't. All right, so let's forget about Clemson. Whatever. Clemson's
whatever.
I
like Clemson.
So, Michigan, Ohio State have to lose. Tennessee and Georgia have to lose. Now, with the bias towards the SEC that you see, which there's not really a bias. They have 3 teams that are 1 loss or higher. Yeah.
They're good.
So, you will not see Tennessee or Georgia drop below Alabama. Now, what you will see is TCU climb into that top 5 spot because Michigan, Ohio State, whoever loses that game, they're out because they can't go to the Big 12 game, the Big 10 title game. Right, and you're going to end up.
If TCU wins out and wins the conference, they're in top 4.
Right, but then here's the deal: Illinois, whoever wins the Ohio State Michigan game is going to have to play Illinois.
Right.
So there's that. And then whoever plays Illinois between those teams is going to crush Illinois. It's just going to happen. It's the Big Ten East versus the Big Ten West. It's the way it always happens.
So it's crazy. It's right now. It's crazy. Guess what? It's November, and it's always crazy.
Right.
We're going to see upsets too.
I'm going to give you my prediction. We gave a prediction before.
You don't think Bama's going to lose another game?
No.
No.
No. Well, no.
Okay.
Unless they go to the SEC title game.
Right.
They play. Okay, so Bama plays LSU, who's a dumpster fire. No, they will lose one more game. I'm wrong. They will lose one more game.
Who they got?
This week they play LSU. Next week,
that won't be easy either.
They're gonna lose to. It's in
the Valley.
They're gonna beat LSU.
Okay.
They're gonna lose to Ole Miss.
Ooh, yeah.
They're gonna beat Austin Peay because it's Austin Peay.
Yeah. Well, they always schedule that one. They're one of the few teams that schedules a weak division opponent late in the season.
You cannot blame them for that because in the beginning of the season they always take on a big boy.
I understand that.
And then they're going to lose to Auburn. They're going to beat Auburn handedly because Auburn's just a dumpster fire.
Everybody's beating Auburn. Right.
So, anyways, all right. Here's my prediction. Let's wrap this up because my dad and I could argue about this kind of stuff all.
We're gonna do this all night. Yeah.
So I'm going to give you we gave you our predictions, which probably are horribly wrong now, for what we thought was going to be in the playoff back in the beginning.
Let's make fun of some of the bowl names.
Oh, I want to give you my 4 playoff predictions real quick.
Oh, okay. You go ahead.
Here's my 4 playoff predictions.
You do that.
It's going to be in order from 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Georgia.
Okay.
Wait. No, it can't be that way.
Nope.
Tennessee, Bama. Because here's my Tennessee, Bama. Bama's going to beat Tennessee in the SEC title game. They're both going to have 1 loss.
But if they lose to Ole Miss, they'll have 2 losses. Bama.
Oh shit! All right, here we go. I'm ready. Tennessee.
Okay. I'll give you one.
Tennessee.
You go ahead.
1 is Tennessee. 2 Ohio State. 3 is going to be Clemson. 4 is going to be TCU. Done. Tennessee, Ohio State, Clemson, TCU.
I'm going to say Georgia, Clemson, Michigan, and
you think Harbaugh's going
to Georgia, Michigan, Clemson. He's going to beat Ohio State 2 times in a row.
Oh no,
and,
no.
Clemson and TCU.
All right,
it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, Clemson, TCU.
So we both agree that Clemson and TCU are going to be the 3 and 4 spot.
Yep. Oregon could be a possibility to get in there. They have 1 loss.
Yeah, but are they stronger, though?
Oh, it's to Florida.
Right.
They lost to Florida.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Are they a stronger... If you're going to
I've seen crazier shit. I've seen us go in with 1 loss to a team that wasn't all that great. Iowa State.
If you're going to be putting up the best teams against each other, are you going to put TCU against those other 4? I'm sorry, Oregon against those other 4. I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right.
They're gonna. Yeah.
We could go on and on and on about this because
Yep,
this is my favorite thing to speculate. I love speculating that, and I'm usually wrong, but whatever.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up.
All right. Let's talk about some of the most embarrassing bowl games to be able to go to.
Yes.
One of them, I'll start it off, is the Quick Lane Lube and Tire Bowl in Detroit, Michigan.
I don't have a list of the bowls. What are the list of the bowls?
I just Googled it. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well.
CBS College Football 2023 College Football Bowl schedule.
Okay, CBS.
Just look up the 2022 college football, all the college football bowls. I can send you a link if you need it.
No. Yeah, do that.
I'm doing it right now. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't want to waste people's time.
I'm gonna send.
This sucks. This sucks.
I'm gonna send it to you
What
on
the hell are
Messenger.
Todd and Brett doing? All right. Shit.
Maybe it won't load.
All right. Well, I'll just type it in up here on my phone then.
I got it.
College. All right. Thank you.
Maybe.
There are some every year I make fun of these names of these things. So, yeah.
Oh my goodness, what are we doing here?
Did you send me a text? Nah, don't even bother.
I got it. All right, here we go.
All right.
Ah, I thought I had it. Hang on. All right, here we go. We're in. I'm in.
You're in. Well, what the hell does that mean?
I'm sending you a link. It's on your phone, so I'm sorry. All right.
That's fine.
You got your link.
It's coming now. Got it. Okay, go ahead.
All right.
You said which one did you think was the funniest?
I lost it already.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
First of all, the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
What the hell?
The Jimmy Kimmel Bowl.
That man doesn't deserve a football bowl. What kind of bowl is that?
I don't know. It's the first one I saw on here. You got the Jimmy Kimmel Bowl. It is the Pac-12 versus Mountain West.
Oh, my God. I see that now.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a turd bowl, man.
The famous Idaho Potato Bowl. That's always that's a funny name.
That's a joke. Ooh, there's one in Myrtle Beach this year. In Conway, South Carolina.
Yeah, you got the American or the MAC or the Sun Belt versus each other.
Wow. Wow.
That'd be a fun one to be at because the weather wouldn't be awful.
Yeah, you would. Well, maybe not. Yeah. Wow. Gasparilla Bowl, I always found funny. It always, whenever I hear that, I just kind of want to run to the restroom.
Just like, you got a bat, like you need some Pepto-Bismol.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be the Pepto-Bismol Gasparilla Bowl.
What the hell is a Camellia Bowl?
Where's that?
Camellia Bowl? Camellia, Montgomery, Alabama.
The MAC versus Sun Belt.
Yeah, what the hell is that? Responder University. Okay, here's a question for you.
Oh no, it's the first.
Where the hell is Responder University?
No, you're reading it wrong. It's
First Responder University.
No, you're reading the italicized text on the bottom is where it is. University Park, Texas.
I was like, what the hell is a First Responder University?
No.
Is that what the hell? Oh, it's still First Responder Bowl. Okay, well, I understand.
Well, we shouldn't make fun of the First Responder Bowl because
I'm all about the first responders.
Well, no,
I'm all about the first responders.
Not only that, it's a Big 12 versus the ACC, so we might be in that bowl.
That's true. Good point.
We shouldn't make fun of a bowl that we might have to be in.
They're just weird. Guaranteed Rate Bowl. God dang. Pinstripe Bowl. I always laughed at that one. And then, of course, there's a Cheez-It Bowl. Put me. I'm the cheesiest, coach.
No, I woke up feeling the cheesiest. Duke's Mayo Bowl.
My.
Did you ever see the clip?
There's a Tony the Tiger Bowl. There's a Tony the Tiger Bowl, dude.
Did you see the clip of the guy from the Duke's Mayo Bowl last year?
No.
Where he was eating the gallon of mayonnaise with a big spoon on the...
Oh, yeah. I did see that. Yeah.
That's the funniest.
Tony the Tiger Bowl, man. That's a new one, I guess.
When you don't want to do the You don't want to be in a tax slayer bowl.
No. Wow, the Tony the Tiger Bowl. The rest of them are pretty much. What?
Well, once you
used
get
to
above
them.
that, they're big. They're bigger.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Oh, again, the Texas Bowl. Remember they made the Texas Bowl for Texas because they couldn't get into a regular bowl.
Yeah, and then there was the year last year where they weren't even bowl eligible and they couldn't make their own bowl game.
Yep. Yeah, they couldn't even make their own Texas Bowl. That was funny.
Well, who knows? They might not even make their own bowl this year. They started falling apart again.
Yeah, I know. Sad.
But anyways, all right.
Anyhow, what a show! Don't forget to get online and go to our thing and hit the link for that.
That makes
for the
no
pumpkin
sense.
Voting. The pumpkin.
Don't
voting.
forget to go to the thing and hit the link.
Go to our Facebook page.
How about you let me wrap?
And hit the link.
How about you let me wrap? Give this one a wrap.
I'm not good at advertising.
Hey guys, do not forget to join our Overtime at the Bench Facebook page. Make sure you go and vote for my pumpkin. And while you're at it, if you aren't already subscribed or listening to us regularly as we post these, make sure you hit the notification icons on iTunes and YouTube and everywhere else. Sorry we went off the rails there a little bit at the end with some football.
Yeah, we had fun tonight.
But I love to like
talk
football, but also like kind of what's it called? Not argue, but I like to what if.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fun in college football than like what if.
Yeah, because no matter what you think what if is, the next week it's what wasn't.
Or it'll just throw you for a loop and you'll be like, what just happened?
Yeah, exactly. We're sitting there Saturday after you thought all these things through, thinking you had it all figured out. And then you're sitting there Saturday evening going, man, I was an idiot. What was I thinking?
It's the wildest sport.
None of that worked out like that.
It's the wildest sport.
I love that. And that's one of the things I love about college ball.
Yep.
But anyhow.
Anyways, all right.
Good luck to your Phillies or Astros, whatever you're watching for baseball.
I'm actually rooting for the Phillies.
Yep. Go to Wiley's Facebook page, Wiley Scale Modeling Facebook page. If you don't belong to our Overtime at the Bench page, you can scroll down and you can like the pumpkin. Click on the link there, like the pumpkin. You'll find the post that we did earlier in the week. It'll still take you to the same link.
Definitely. All right. Go like my damn pumpkin. Have a good week.
If you're even here anymore at this point.
All right.
Have a good night. See you next week. Peace.